You ever shoot a man?
No, I'm a Christian.
God knows how many this cutthroat has.
3 against now.
2 against. You're a Christian.
Listen, I really want to start with congrats on the movie. I have a lot of questions, but I like doing an individual question to start things off. And Gbenga, I'm starting with you. It's pretty incredible to be a part of an amazing show at the very, very beginning of your career, which is The Wire. What the hell is it like to have started things off with such an amazing masterpiece of a show?
You know, initially it was a downer. Like after doing The Wire, you know, and then going on to other projects, I found myself on set just down, and I didn't realize why. And then it hit me that The Wire was a very rare experience. It's like that's still my Wire family. Like those are all, and then the show that we got to do together. And then I had to realize that I had to find something in each project and not compare it and make it its own thing. So that helped. And I was very fortunate, very, very fortunate to be a part of that show. It's still very much in the ethos. I
mean, they teach classes at college about the show. It's incredible.
Yeah. It's why like colleges all over the world actually they teach classes on it, which is I've been fortunate to be asked to speak at a few of them. They've taught a course on it at Harvard Law a few times, and I've spoken there. It's still very much part of the ethos, part of the zeitgeist.
Leslie, I have a question for you. You have done a bunch of music. There's going to be people out there that have never heard anything. If they've not heard any of your songs, what's the first one you want them starting with and why?
Ooh, good question. I would say From the Start, Will You Still Love Me Tomorrow? That's the first single I ever released. And it's special to me because it started a lot of new things in my life. And it's a cover of an old classic that I really, really love by the Shirelles, written by Carole King. So I think oldie but a goodie.
Levon, I have a question for you. You come from what's called, how can I say this, a talented family. Your parents, your sister, they're okay at acting. So I'm just curious for you, like this is a big role, and like how much pressure did you put on yourself when you are, you know what I mean? Like you're coming from a star family, if you will.
I do put a lot of pressure on myself, but I would say that is only alleviated by my family, who is always having my back, and who I will call in between every scene. It's really, I'm so lucky in that, just having them in my corner and getting to ask questions. And then I think that it's hard for a lot of people in this industry who, of course, are coming in blind, and it's really scary. And it is really intense when there's a film kind of riding in some ways on your performance, that if you don't show up, it can feel like a lot of pressure. And getting to just get so much support and get to ask nuanced questions. And they always give cool, easy advice, like strength. And my dad's big thing is just breathe, listen, and speak to who you're speaking to. And that's what I'll call him before all nervous. And that's what he'll tell me. And getting to work with somebody like Peter, and me and Gbenga and Peter had so many moments when we go off script and be having our little adventures in these mini scenes. And the thing that was just very close to my heart was just trust your scene partners. And that's why I was so lucky to have Leslie and Gbenga and all of the amazing people on this film that just made that so easy.
So I know how movies are made. And as I was watching this film, I was mesmerized by how cold it was, by the snow, by everything, all location filming. What the hell was this shoot really like for you guys? Because this could not have been, like, this had to have been a work, like real work to make this.
We all really wanted to be there, man. You could feel it because we were all freezing. We were freezing. And it also just really, I've been saying this all morning, like it really does add to your confidence and your trust in everyone that you're working with and doing this with, when you can feel like, oh, we're all like, our feet can't feel our feet and we're doing this. So like, no complaints. We're just here. We're helping each other. We're getting through this day together. And that's a beautiful thing that doesn't happen on every set. So we had the gift of the cold to offer that opportunity to bond with each other.
Well, Leslie said it really well. We all wanted to be there. It was cold. It was brutal, but it made the whole job easier when you're that cold. It's like all we had to think about was surviving. and then it feels like we're our characters, and the rest of it came easy.
It was too cold for any BS in the work. Like you just were there. Like Leslie said, and Yvonne said beautifully. It was too cold for the BS, and so it allowed like us to breathe, look at each other, and talk to each other, like his daddy said.
Now I will say, yes. But now I will say, I don't know about you guys, if you guys had any decisions that you made with your wardrobe prior to that you really wish you didn't make once we were out there. But I remember the first day, not the actual first day of shooting, but the first day I realized, oh, I really shouldn't have like gone with these boots with Anne, because I was the only person that had like strap up like 1,000,000,001 like little holes and hooks to get my boots strapped. And then, everyone would like switch into like comfier shoes, and I had no zip or nothing. So it was like, oh, my feet. Yeah. So there were moments, I'm sure, for all of us that were like that.
I am curious for the three of you, when you looking back on the shoot, what shot or sequence ended up being like just super challenging, whether it because of a camera move, dialogue, snow, whatever the reason? I'm always fascinated by like what shot people should look out for.
All of them.
All of them.
In the winter.
A favorite of mine is this day where it's a scene where Gbenga and I and Peter are buying these coats and trading for them. And we were out in this big plane. Gbenga, do you remember this? And it was actually the middle of the day, -30, with furious winds. And it just made it so every tiny breath you take just make a huge cloud around your face. So you have to be really conscious about the way you breathe and the way you speak to not even obscure yourself. It made acting a different battle than I ever thought I'd face.
As soon as I remembered, a cold just went through my body. I remembered that day. And this is after I don't know how many days of already being outside. The wind was just cutting through us, and that was we had to start the day that way. But it was. Yeah, you were just there. You believed everything that was happening because, all right, we got to get these skins. We got to keep it moving. It was, oh my God, it was so cold.
One of the things I really enjoyed is how it takes place like sort of at the ending of the Old West and the beginning of technology coming in. Like there's that great shot of you, Levon, walking with the car coming by, and you've like clearly never seen one. Can you sort of talk about like how this is a different kind of Western?
Absolutely. And the movie opens with that motorcycle riding, as we will later find out, is Cutthroat Bill herself. But the world's about to change. And that's what's exciting about this period in this movie, is it really feels like we're at the end of this Old West. And there's kind of this like faint image of modernity that we're going to reach soon. And that we get excited the world might be better. People might stop killing each other in the snow. And even though today we have all reasons to think that our world could be a lot better, looking at a movie like this, you realize how far we have come. And it just feels like there's this family that maybe is about to exist. There's this safety that's about to exist. There's these vehicles that are about to change our way of life, but it's just not there yet. And this movie, I think, has a lot of hope of that future. And even though these characters, a lot of them at least, don't live to see it realized.
Spoiler alert.
I know, that's what I was just saying. Spoiler alert.
I think it's safe to assume that in a movie like, I think people going in should know that not everyone's going to survive.
It's a Western after all.
This might be my last question because I'm almost out of time. I'm a huge fan of Metallica, and I will admit that knowing that James was going to be in the movie was an added bonus. So I'm just curious for the three of you, what is it like finding out that James Hetfield is going to be in a movie with you? He does not act typically. Like, this is very rare.
I grew up with Metallica. I was gushing like a schoolboy. I just couldn't believe you're right. I don't know if I've never seen him do roles, and to get to be in a movie where he's taking one of the roles, I just wanted to ask him about everything Metallica. Like, this was my childhood, this was my adolescence, this is my adulthood, and they were the soundtrack to so many experiences for so many of us. So it was cool. And he was a really nice guy, which was really cool. So yeah, it was amazing.
Really cool. He was really cool. I remember him sitting to my right at the table read, and just obviously internally, like, I just don't even want to say anything because we're all geeked, don't want to let that out. But I was like, man, I wonder what his voice is going to sound like when he started reading. And then, you just hear, it's just so great. It was just so cool.
I got to say, I was so nervous going into this movie, and it's a big part, and I've only done a few movies before this. And I'm like nervous before set one day, and James turns to me and he just goes, "Levon." And I go like, "Yeah, what's up, James?" And he just goes, "Look at this," and just holds his hand. And it was the most endearing thing in the world. This guy I look up to so much. Like, he's huge and strong and so beautiful. He's just this amazing specimen of a human being. And then the fact that he was nervous too really set me at ease.
How beautiful.
It is. I loved hearing that. That makes work easier for me.